Sagittarius, welcome to your bonus reading. This is just a little thank you guys for being one of the top three most viewed signs when I did the zodiac readings. So, welcome. For this reading, Sagittarius, this could be interpreted literally and figuratively. I'm going to read it the literal way because if it's the literal way and this reading is for you, then that means that you are in a relationship that feels very limiting, that you are very much considering leaving. The figurative way would be that this is kind of you getting in the way of yourself. But again, I think there's a lot more here to talk about, like literally feeling restricted, held back by a relationship. This doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, even though again that is more what is being talked about here. This could be also talking about in business, but this seems a lot more um like a romantic relationship to me. But again, if it's the more figurative way and you were kind of holding yourself back, just this is just a nod that this would talk about it, like some kind of childhood wounding that is holding yourself back. But let's get into it. Sagittarius. This is really talking about somebody who, I'll be completely honest, like their value is being, not their actual value, but if this reading is for you, then you are in a relationship with somebody who is making you feel less and less valuable. Like this is someone who, because of their own insecurities, like will feel insecure that you are dressing a certain way or that you look a certain way, or even that that other people are attracted to you. Like they will get offended and jealous, even if you have nothing to do with anything. Just if someone comments on your appearance or pays you any kind of compliment, I'm getting this is like a kind of defensiveness will be brought about in this partner because they are energetically, a mismatch. This is just to say that there's a level of maturity that is not here. Maybe there is an actual kind of age gap, but this is just someone who is not as mature in a lot of ways. This could also be someone who maybe isn't the most reliable. Maybe this is an on and off again relationship. Like this isn't something that in that way is very grounded. And because of all of this, this is like, and again, there are going to be varying degrees of control that this person is like exerting over you and your expression. But this is like literally you are either stopping yourself from doing these things that you want to do, or like, allowing them to stop you from doing it. You could also have children with this person, and in that way, you really feel kind of tied to this person, that there are things that you can't do because you have to consider your child or children. But also this could be that you always have to consider how your partner is going to react because they are childish in that way. Like you are always having to think about how what you say or do, or even things that you don't say or do, will impact them. And that is like the most restrictive. Like this energy is just almost like it's, even though this reading is for you, like their energy is like just this kind of, I'm seeing someone put like a metal like dome over a fire, and it's like just the light of that is like just being kind of you know taken out. So this relationship, this dynamic, I should say, you know what I mean, is really impeding like your ability to just be yourself and express your beautiful, amazing self. Because this person is like threatened by it and generally just lacking the maturity to be in proximity to you in general. I was gonna say just like in your, but it's really just like all around. I think this is someone that, anyway. On your mind, this is the most clear, like wanting to leave kind of thing that I've ever seen. You could again feel like there's so much tied in with this person. Like if you have children, if you're married, if whatever the case may be, this is like there's so much to do. There's so much confusion around it and whether or not you feel that you are capable of kind of being able to live on your own and take care of yourself and provide in that way. But this is like, even if you don't really know how, like the exact steps of how that would happen, this is like, I need to go. I need to get out. Like that is clear. That is the clearest thing in this reading is like, I don't necessarily know where I'm going, but I know that I can't stay here. I know that like staying here is a different kind of I don't even know. This is just like being willing to step out, even if like the way forward isn't the prettiest or the clearest. It's like what is clear is that I'm not staying here. Okay. Um and this is being motivated by this, like, I think there's a lot of introspection that has happened about, like, if you were to stay in this dynamic, then what it is that you want to create. And this is more so like who you want to be, you know what I mean? Will never be actualized if you were to stay in this situation, if you were to continue to allow your power to be siphoned by somebody that is incapable of not taking it personally. I'm just seeing this as someone where it's like instead of focusing on themselves and kind of rising to meet you where they are so threatened in that way that they would rather bring you down to where they are. And in the past, I'm seeing that there's been, maybe you have attempted to kind of go your own way in the past. And maybe that hasn't necessarily worked out, but it's like something happened in the past where it was very clear that you needed to move forward and there was an opportunity for that, and maybe you didn't go or didn't see it through. I want to get one more clarifier on this one. Yeah, this is again just like there's three major arcana here, and it's the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, and the World. So this is like, it was very clear in the past that this had reached whatever kind of end that was meant to happen. And then we have the Devil come out on top of that. So, this relationship you might describe it as toxic. It feels like, a kind of, the way that the Devil is presenting itself to me here is that, again, like heavy on that illusion of like the need to stay. Like, and I understand that there are very valid, again, if this is someone that you have a child with, if this is someone that you share a home with, if this is someone like your finances are literally tied up together, if this, you know what I mean? I also was getting a little bit of a hint earlier that maybe there's also like, this could be like a childhood sweetheart. Like maybe this is someone that you've known for a very long time. So there's a lot invested in this relationship that makes it difficult to kind of untangle yourself. And so that is this, right? Like that is what this Devil is talking about, is like all of the things that will make you believe that you have to stay. And it's not to say that it wouldn't be easier in certain ways to stay, but it's like you have arrived at the place of saying like, but the cost, you know what I mean? Like I may lose all of these things, but the cost of staying is so much greater that we have to go. We have to, free ourselves of those limiting beliefs, of that bondage that the Devil really talks about, where this isn't like a tempting thing. This is like, again, believing in the structures that have been built around you that make you think that you have to stay where you are. And it's not the case. Okay. There is a path forward here that will be presented. I see in the future we do have the Six of Swords, which is saying there will be, I want to say first, a kind of mental freeing, where this may be exercising in small ways, but building on it, like exercising your own freedom, exercising your autonomy. This is about taking the steps forward in ways that, again, just help you and like your subconscious reprogram itself to know that you are fully capable. I think too, if you were to look like at the relationship, you do most of the work, you do most of the labor in whatever way that is kind of landing for you. And so it's like this person has constructed this idea that you need them in some way, but you really don't. You really don't. Um, this really talks about like you have the goods, you have everything that you need. You are this, I mean, both times that you're represented like in this spread, you have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So it's literally like, I think you are even like leveling up in a way that maybe you aren't expecting or necessarily trying to do, but because you are, this is just like a coming into yourself, a balancing of like the masculine and feminine drives within you, which is to say like the clear knowing and then the action, you know what I mean? Like the ability to act on that clarity that you gain so that you do whatever it is that you need to do. Um, and I think, again, I am seeing like you may struggle just a little bit with this in the future when it comes to fully putting your plans into action and fully like stepping into your own independence. That can be, it can be a little scary, especially if this again is someone that like you have just been with for so long. Anything new generally, right? But really when it's a kind of I'm hearing emancipation. But truly, like, I also think the freedom to like really express yourself and make your own decisions in a way where you aren't constantly having to consider someone else and their responses, it was going to be like new. This kind of feels like letting like your nervous system almost breathe after being tormented, honestly, for so long. It's like there's that kind of steadiness that feels uneasy, like peace almost feels unsafe. So like figuring out how to navigate that. But again, allowing yourself to move forward and go after and truly pursue what it is that you want to do with your life. And I'm just seeing like there will be this kind of back and forth that I'm getting is really more again in the mind. Like it really is a bit of a battle with what is known, right? So what has been programmed, what has kind of been conditioned into you, what is familiar and therefore seems to be safe versus this new path and way of being and relying on yourself and letting yourself fully express yourself and be all that you are. But because that is unfamiliar and new territory, it feels unsafe. And so it's really, you're going to have to focus and give yourself a lot of patience and grace and care and allow yourself um to be that, and also just remind yourself, you know what I mean, try to keep that at the forefront of your awareness that, you know, things feel unsafe and uncertain just because it's new, but you are safe. And, you know, safe and trusting yourself and like trusting your decisions, not allowing other people to um like, I'm hearing like degrade you, you know what I mean? Don't let people guilt you for choosing yourself. I'm even getting like if you feel like your friends or family will judge you if you have children with someone and like kind of, you know what I mean? If you're like fully divorcing someone, like I like and you're kind of anticipating judgment on that and where people are like, well, what about the kids? It's like you have to do what is best for you. Like you would be a much better parent and have so much more to offer if you know, had this space to be yourself and didn't have a restricting partner in that way. So again, you know what is best for you. Do that and do not allow other people to, you know, make you feel any kind of way about doing what you need to do for yourself. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to pull an oracle for you, my loves, and then I will let you go. Let's see. Okay. I think 2 want to pop out. I will take that one. Okay. There were 3 that came out. I'm not going to lie, but I'm just like, I've never gotten 3 before, and I don't ever want to put a card back because who knows what message you will need. We have number 12, number 35, and number 42. So I'll just go in order. Number 12 came out first. Number 12 is Unfold Your Own Myth. I like that title. There's a picture of a little seashell on it. Let's see what it has to say. It says, don't settle for other stories or the tales of how it went for those who took the path before you. No one has ever lived on this planet with your particular thoughts, your dreams, your skills, or your specific genius. The magic inside of you is one of a kind. Use it to unfold the truest and most beautiful version of your life. It doesn't need to look like anyone else's magic, just your own. I like that one. Number 35 has the picture of a giraffe on it. And it says, court the too good and true. It says, you will be warned from all kinds of sources, almost all of the time, about things that seem to be too good to be true. But in this moment, you're being invited to consider all the things in your life that are too good and yet true. Appreciate them, adore them, invite more of them into your life. What is the most true and beautiful vision you can conceive of your life, your goals, your relationships? What feels most authentic? Thoughts become things, so put your thoughts on the most beautiful vision of your life. You deserve it, sweet pea. All right, and number 42 says, expect a miracle, and it has a picture of some flowers on it. What is that, a dandelion? And a little, but anyway. Okay, it says, make a wish, expect a miracle. According to an old European legend, The name Lady in Ladybug is borrowed from Our Lady, the Mother Mary. During the Middle Ages, when pests plagued crops to disastrous levels, the farmers prayed to the Blessed Lady to save their lands. In a short time, the ladybugs, who had not been in the area before, started visiting and eating the pests. The crops thrived. Your crops, all that you are growing in your life, benefit from your willingness to ask for and receive help. It doesn't matter to whom you address your petition, the sacred is always listening. Make the wish, expect the miracle. All right, Sagittarius. I love you guys. I hope the absolute best for you. I appreciate you being here. If this reading resonated at all, you want to leave a like or a comment. I really do love hearing from you guys, and it helps me out. If you want to know next time I post, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when the video goes up, you can hit the little bell there. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.